Sebastian Telfair. Everybody's talking about this. He's put out documentary. It's Sebastian Telfair before he had to turn himself in and do a 6 month bid that he's currently doing right now. Should be out in early January. He's back at home in the Peas in Coney Island after blowing through his money. His 20, he made over $20 million in his 10-year career. Normally, I have some jokes and try to make light of things, but it truly made me sad because for a guy that is a New York product, going to a New York school, being the number one rated high schooler in New York City, being able to then bypass college to be able to go straight to the NBA. He did that, and he was a 10-year veteran. Wasn't a star, but for you to stay in the league for 10 years, that's pretty impressive for a guy that chose to come out of high school. Sebastian Telfair has made some mistakes in his life. He had the gun charge that put him in some big trouble. And during that time, he said he was going through a divorce and all this other stuff and didn't have access to his pension money or whatever it was for the NBA. And because he was dealing with the Fed charge, now I think his NBA account got frozen and he didn't have access to nothing, didn't have any bread. His mom had to help him out. And Terrence Williams, who was his man, convinced him to be able to let him help. Terrence Williams was able to get back into his account, and they labeled that fraud. It's his money. He didn't take anybody's money, according to him. He just tried to get access to his own bread. So to see him back in the P's again, just seeing how he's living, he has babies. It's just really, really disheartening. And it's not one of those things where he's super sad about it. You got to make the best out of your situation, but it just goes to show you that, certain decisions that you make in your life, man, you can be able to be right back to square one if you're not careful. This is a guy that, again, made several millions of dollars in his career. You would have thought that he would be set up for life, would have probably invested somewhere to be able to have that money just gaining interest. No, it's a tale that we hear and see depending on who you are and what your life experiences are all the time. A guy like Sebastian grew up in New York City playing ball. I'm sure he had dudes that was in the neighborhood taking care of him. So for him, when he gets to the league, he feels obligated to have to, reciprocate that and take care of people.